one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Happy 100 episodes to my friend Kevin Dwayne for the Outline Podcast. Thank you so much, Kevin, for bringing this insightful podcast to us on a weekly basis. Thank you for the laughs. Thank you for the topics that you discuss. Thank you for just being you on the podcast and being genuine. I look forward to many more podcasts, and I can't wait until your 200th episode.
Congratulations to the Outline Podcast for its 100th episode. I am so excited about the content, the great discussions that are to keep coming from the Outline Podcast. Kevin, you have been doing an amazing job, and I couldn't be more proud of you. So keep it going, keep it coming. We'll be tuned in every week like clockwork for the next discussion, the next hot topic.
Kev, 100 episodes. You did that, sister. Work on. Hey, Outline family, this is Lonnie. I was featured on episode 50 of the Outline, just a little thick. Kevin, to see you reach this milestone of 100 episodes makes me beyond proud as beyond a friend, but also a supporter. You have given a voice and talked about topics that may have been uncomfortable, not just to yourself, but to other people as well, and were able to address them. To you, much more success. I can't wait to see what happens next. And maybe, just maybe, we get to finish our conversation from last time. But to you, congratulations, and hope to see you soon. Bye, Outline family.
Kevin, happy 100th episode to the Outline. I can say that I am one of the people, I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I can say I'm one of the people who has listened to every single episode. I am so proud of you. I can't believe we're at 100. You have made us laugh. You've taken us through your journey. We've been through everything, and it's just been amazing. I'm so proud of you. I still remember the day you told me you were going to start a podcast, and here we are at 100 episodes. I love you. I am so proud of you. I know I've said that, but I keep saying it because it's true. Hercules, Hercules, Hercules. Here's to 100 more. Thank you so much. Every Wednesday, I look so forward to the Outline Podcast. I start my day with it. So, here's to 500 more. Outline.
Hey, Kevin, it's Tao. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. 100 episodes of The Outline. Amazing. I can't wait to see what's in store for you. I know it's going to be awesome. Your star is continuing to shine. It's continuing to rise. And I just know the world is going to know your name.
Hey, what's up? Kevin Dwayne. It's Kevin Dwayne. What's up, Kevin? It's your girl, DVZ. I just wanted to send you this little note here to say congratulations on your 100th episode. That is so dope. What I can say is in the short time that we have known each other, I have come to appreciate and respect you. I love what you're doing. I'm an avid listener of the show. I always have those comments. I always laugh, and I'm always telling my friends and anybody I know to check out the show. I can say right now that I am fully certain that in the future I will see you on your Ryan Seacrest. We not talking 9 to 5s no more. So it's just dope. It's dope to watch the evolution from the point that I came in to the game and the point that I met you. And I think you are a wonderful energy and a wonderful soul. And I wish you the best success, the most success throughout your endeavor into stardom, my friends. So Kevin Dwayne, Outline Podcast, 100 episodes, man. Just fire. So happy for you. So happy for you.
The Outline is like a big brother to the healing space. Kevin welcomed BHW and I into the podcast family last year and has been a supporter of THS from day one. The Outline has always been an informative, hilarious, insightful, and necessary platform for queer voices. Being a guest on your show in 2017 was so much fun for me. We had a blast. With the spinoff coming soon, the outline is growing, and I'm happy that I get to see it not only professionally, but also personally. Congrats on 100 episodes, Kevin. You deserve it. Here's to 100 more and beyond. Namaste.
Okay, I'm gonna go cry really quick, and then we'll start the show.
The outline with Kevin Dwayne. Kevin Dwayne. The outline. With Kevin Dwayne. The outline. With Kevin Dwayne. This is the outline with Kevin Dwayne. Kevin Dwayne. Kevin Dwayne with Kevin Dwayne.
Hey, I'm Kevin Dwayne, and this is the 100th episode of the Outline Podcast, your weekly discussion of what's trending in entertainment, LGBT culture, and a piece of encouragement for everyone. First of all, I want to thank every single one of you for the messages about the show. I purposely waited until it was time to record and put this episode together to listen to each of them, and I knew I'd be like a softie, but I didn't know I was going to sit up here and boo-hoo because my goodness, like you guys really just gave me my flowers, and it was a moment where I was like, oh my goodness, like what? Like stop. Like I just started crying. I was like, oh crap, like damn, oh my God, like your kind words extremely humble me. That is the most significant encouragement to continue what I do with this show. So thank you so much. Like, oh my God, like I was just sitting here like, oh my God, like it was just, thank you. I can't believe this. Like I absolutely cannot believe this. 100 shows. When I began this show in 2016, I didn't have much of a game plan. I just knew that I wanted to continue to express myself, and I had a great interest in podcasts. I literally just hopped on the mic and took a ride. I listened to your feedback, and I allow you, the listeners, and the supporters of the show to guide and cultivate this podcast into what it is today. Like I started off as just me talking shit. Like I was on YouTube making videos, and I never even thought to just center myself as a LGBT centered podcast. I just happened to be a gay man who had opinions on shit. And then as time went by, I know Pods in Color put me in that category. And then other people were like, oh yeah, this is a gay podcast and that's this. And I was like, you know what? I'll wear that badge proudly. I have no problem wearing that. And it became an LGBT culture podcast where I discuss things from my perspective. And I've had guests on the show to discuss things from their perspective. And it's just been a great journey. And you guys have helped build this. So it's super amazing to get to this point. You know, you guys help me get here. I also wanted something that I can consistently pour myself into without interruption. Like when I was on YouTube, it would be a video every month or so, or every 2 months. Or I think one time I took like 2 years off and didn't do a video. And it wasn't consistent. And I needed something that I could show up for every week. I needed this. So this is a huge milestone for me because there are over 100 episodes, and I'm sure the timing is up there too. It's like 100 hours, if that. It's like I have a show worth binging, and I think that is just wow, you guys. And I guess I was just playing it lightly until now. But after hearing those messages and just recording right now, I'm literally filled with accomplishment. I feel like I did something. Like, wow. And to be completely transparent, Did I want more for the show? Absolutely. But my dream isn't over. There's still more to come. Did I think I would be further at this point? Absolutely. I think I had some lofty goals and lofty dreams that I haven't quite reached, but I'm not giving up on them. But at the same time, I'm very proud of where I am with the show. Like, this podcast has not only introduced me to many new, amazing, and interesting people, new friendships have materialized. This process alone is why the internet is a great tool. This is the internet done right. Like, I know people who have become friends from just listening to my show. People have gone on dates from listening to my show and hearing other guests. And I've met people and I've gone on dates from meeting people from the show. Like, it's just, it blows my mind. And I absolutely love this. And I'm going to continue doing this. And there'll be much, much more. Like the message just said, they hope for another 100 episodes. I hear Mwabi said another 500. That's a setup. That's a setup. She was being clever. She's trying to set me up to be on this show for another how many years? How many years is that? Another 500? That's another 5 years, I'm sure. So, or longer. My God. But yeah, there's no end in sight soon. I'm going to continue doing this. And I absolutely, wow. I would like to thank all of you across the world, and I mean across the world. I have listeners all over the world, you guys. Thank you for listening every week and trusting my opinion before consuming new books, television, music, other podcasts. I thank you for challenging me. You guys don't always agree with me, and I don't need yes men. I never want yes men. I want people who are able to think for themselves, and all I want to do is challenge thinking. So even if you don't agree with me and you challenge me, thank you for that too, because you're making me grow too. And that is the journey. Is my whole point. And what I'm learning about purpose and about legacy, there are certain ideas in the world and there are certain things that we want to live beyond us. And I believe that we as people, we keep those things alive in the moment. And then when we leave this earth, the ideas and that legacy is still here for the next generation to carry on. So for me, my purpose is to push feminism, equality, compassion, critical thinking. These are all ideas that I want to continue pushing. Love for music, love for art. I want to continue holding up these ideas. And then when I'm no longer here, these ideas will still be here. And they'll live on through the next generation of people. And that is purpose to me. So I am just... thank you all. Thank you. It blows my mind that you all have so much faith in me and support me, my transparency, and my vulnerability. And sometimes I sit up here and wing it, and you guys just keep clapping me on. So thank you so much. Like, this is an amazing feeling. So yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me get myself together. Whew. So this is the 100th episode. So last week on the show, I told you guys I was excited because I was going to see Whitney, the film, which was a documentary about Whitney's life and her ultimate demise. So this can't really be seen as a spoiler because we all know how the story ends. So, I mean, I'm going to talk about this for a couple minutes. If you want to fast forward, sure, but you do know she ends up dying in the end. So I don't feel like I'm killing anything for you all. And all the good stuff is already in previews anyway. So whatever. So I love the documentary. I saw Can I Be Me on Showtime, and I enjoyed that too. Now, the thing about this was a person who did Can I Be Me on Showtime, it was originally supposed to be a partnership between them and Whitney's estate. And then something happened where they had to end up, they couldn't come to agreement, so they ended up making separate documentaries. So basically, Whitney the film was the estate's way of saying, okay, listen, let us tell our side of the story too, and also give you more to go with it and color it. Now, here's the thing. The stories are similar, so you can tell that the truth is being told. They still tell the same story. This one just goes a little bit more in detail and gives you a more big picture look, or even more than big picture, a more in-depth look of the ins and outs of the family and things that happen. a couple. I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna go through every minute detail, but I just want to I have a couple notes from watching it. Number one, go see it. It's amazing. It's phenomenal. The footage is what took my breath away. The footage was high quality. They up converted so many things in that. Like, imagine, well, you don't have to imagine, you're gonna go see it after this, right? So when you watch it, like, they'll play like footage from I Want to Dance with Somebody. They up converted it to like 4K. So you're seeing this video in the super high quality from different angles that you couldn't see in the actual video. There's behind the scenes footage. Like, there's so much rare footage that I was just blown away. It wasn't like watching VH1's Behind the Music. You know, with certain artists like Michael Jackson, Beyonce, and most artists, Prince, you see the same footage over and over and over and over and over again. But because this was the estate and the family, you got to see a lot of rare footage that was never before seen. So it made it worth it automatically. And the documentary is filled with new footage. It's filled with home video and performances that you've never seen. And that is a prime reason you should go and see it, just to see another side of Whitney. They definitely went more into Whitney's childhood, the school she went to, her ups and downs. There were a few more revealed secrets. Can I Be Me talked about her sexual fluidity, her bisexuality. You know, she had a thing with Robin and she also had a thing with Bobby. That's kind of public knowledge, but they dug deeper. Now, I did have an issue with her brother, on Greg Houston, because he and the family spoke very ill of Robin. Robin was Whitney's best friend and alleged lover behind the scenes. But what drives me crazy is the only thing that Robin did was be a lesbian. That's all she did. She was just a lesbian. And she looked out for Whitney. And Whitney would only confide in her and listen to her. And the family hated that. But the way they tried to paint her, or Greg rather, was in the idea that, oh, she was just an opportunist and she was just there. She was a very, very evil person. But notice that Robin's the only one who hasn't spoken out. She hasn't made any money off of Whitney's friendship. She hasn't done anything. She's just staying quiet and letting the truth be the truth. Meanwhile, these people in her estate and in both documentaries, it proves that they actually were siphoning off of Whitney. They were the ones who introduced Whitney to drugs. They were the ones who were her yes man. They were the ones who wouldn't stop her or try to intervene and have an intervention for her to get better because they didn't want the money train to stop. So it was very painful, and honestly, it just made me grit my teeth to know that you guys are painting Robin as this terrible person, when in reality, she seems to be the one who actually cared about Whitney Houston's well-being, while you guys are cashing in, releasing these documentaries and whatnot. So I just had an issue with that. Some other cool things were just Whitney being Whitney, man. Like, Whitney did not hold back on her opinions of other artists who didn't stack up. There's a scene, and it's in a trailer. I saw it on Instagram, so I don't feel as bad talking about this. There's a scene where Whitney Houston is shading the fuck out of Paula Abdul. She said that thing is singing off key on record. And it's okay because she has an image. And that was after Sissy Houston shaded Janet Jackson. And this was around like 1989, 1990, during the I'm Your Baby Tonight stage. This is during this time. Whitney was frustrated. She was realizing how talent was changing, and people who weren't as vocally strong but had images and stuff like that could, get ahead by dancing and showing more skin and stuff like that. And so she was frustrated by it, and they were talking about it. And I was just like, oh my God, like, it was just like such a read. And there was another thing at the end. This was after, I want to say it was before Whitney. Just Whitney came out, so I'm going to say like 99, 2000, and it was after I'm Your Baby Tonight. It was during the time where she was doing the, because I remember it seemed like it was footage from the Fine video, which she did for the Greatest Hits collection. It was the bonus tracks on disc 2, but there was a rumor coming out that Bobby Brown supposedly had slept with Little Kim. And there was this whole little thing where they were kind of dissing Little Kim. And I was like, oh shit. Like, the footage was like crazy. I was like, wow, y'all really just on this documentary talking shit. Like, oh my God. I mean, what they gonna do? I mean, this was years ago. Whitney's no longer here. It is what it is. But it was very entertaining. L.A. Reid, I just don't trust that man. I just don't. He was one of the people on there, and honestly, everything he said just sounded like a lie. It's funny because I was listening to his audiobook, and I've actually stopped because I actually don't even know that I even believe it. Like, he just gives me liar. And even in this documentary, you're just like, you're lying. It's like, or maybe he's just being paid off. I don't know, but it was just, he just doesn't seem like a trustworthy individual to me. And I was just like, whatever. Why is your lying ass on here? Like, why? Why are you here? But he was actually, CEO of Arista during the Just Whitney stage. So that's why he was speaking on some things. But it was just like, I don't know. I don't trust this man. And then ultimately, when it comes down to it, I think we have to get to a point where we just learn that fame and money don't make us whole. Like, you can be famous, you can be wealthy, and hate your existence. And that's ultimately what I saw in Whitney Houston. This is what I saw in Michael Jackson. And you see it in so many huge artists. Like, they have huge pain that they're dealing with inside, but because of these cultivated images, they can't live the life that they want to do, or live the life that they want to live, rather. But I think that's changing. Now, I'm no celebrity, and I don't know, I'm not close to any celebrities, but I feel like with social media and the new age celebrities, I'm talking about the Cardi B's. Very good example, Cardi B. Cardi B is very much herself. There's no surprises. I don't believe she's hiding anything that we can't see. It's not like a situation where Whitney Houston, she was a tomboy from New Jersey, and she was around the way girl. She was hood, like, she was chill, but she had this image of class and beauty, and this look that she had to kind of feed into to continue her career. Whereas today we have Cardi B, who, she's unsavory to a lot of people, but she's being herself. So I feel like she has the ability to be way more happier because she gets to be an individual and be herself and still have the fame and money, versus pretending to be someone else and then having to live in this shell of a person. So I think that has shifted. And I hope that it continues to shift, that we like more people who are genuinely who they are and can still present their talent to us. Unfortunately, we had to have our legends like Whitney and Michael and all the people that came before, Luther Vandross, these people who had to live these certain lives just to get their talent out there, because they got to change the narrative moving forward. So we're grateful for them for laying the foundation so that we can have more open people now and live a freer life that doesn't have as much pain. Because on the outside looking in, it's just like they're just living this grand life filled with money and fame. And I mean, who could complain about anything when you have money and fame? And you get to see that, it doesn't solve everything. Your soul got to be right. Like, you have to be happy within. You have to be happy with yourself and enjoy living life. And that's ultimately, that's what killed Whitney Houston. And so it was a great documentary. I'm probably going to see it again. I recommend you all go see it if you haven't already. It's so good. And like I said, if you don't see it for anything else, see it for the footage. The footage was so good. Like, I just couldn't, like, it was a sleigh. It was a sleigh. It was a sleigh. And there's more tea in there that I have not revealed, just so you can have some extra stuff to go off on. But it was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. So yeah. And then another thing I want to talk about, and honestly the only thing outside of that, last week I tweeted this. I said, your type isn't checking for you. They are avoiding you like you avoid people who show obvious interest in you. They aren't playing hard to get. Now, I didn't mean to generalize and say everyone's type is a checker for them. I didn't mean that. What I was more or less saying, I should have said your type may not be checking for you, because we all have this whole thing about, oh, that's my type. Oh, I'm only into this. I don't like this. I don't like this. They gotta be this. They gotta do this, and we really limit our eligible partners with that, you know. And not to say, because this became a conversation on Facebook, of course, it's not to say that people can't have their types. I think everyone should be able to get what they want, for sure. But I think it's dangerous when the type is so specific that no one can ever stack up to it. You know what I mean? And then also it's dangerous if you aren't the type to get your type, if you feel me. Because a lot of times we're into people, and I hate to say out of our league, because I don't know that I believe that people are out of our league, but sometimes people just don't match up. And sometimes you see people who like are into something that they honestly they couldn't really bag it. Like you like, how do you expect to pull that? You know, it's one of those things. So maybe I do believe in people being out of your league. Maybe I do believe that. Like, it's just one of those things, like, sometimes you have people who are attracted to what they aren't. And so you have the opposites attract, or you have the people, like, I've always had this thing about people who don't take care of themselves. And I'm not talking about just fitness. I'm talking about just overall health or financially or work-wise, but they want someone who is super fit, super wealthy, super well together. And it's just like, so what are you bringing to it? Why do you feel like you should have this type of person? And why do you feel like they should be attracted to you when you aren't even putting in what you want? And I think that's dangerous. But I do feel like people should always get their type. Now, listen, don't get me wrong. I don't have an issue with people saying they like dark-skinned guys or light-skinned guys or tall guys or short guys or thick girls or thin girls. Like, I don't have a problem with that. Like, I think that's just, that could literally just be what you're attracted to. But when it becomes a whole thing about how their personality has to be and the type of demeanor and all that stuff, it just gets really, really dangerous, because you might not, or not dangerous, it gets risky because you might not get what it is you want. And also you might be missing out on something really, really good. So I said that last week, and then I stumbled upon a video on YouTube, because that's how I know Siri and Alexa and all them hoes. There's another one on the Windows computer that start with a C, Cordana or something like that. Whatever. They be listening to what I'm talking about on the phone, on Facebook. They reading all the cookies and stuff. They see all that because that's how I get all the ads. Well, anyway, this video popped up on YouTube because somebody's nosy. And it said the video was by a channel called School of Life. And I've been binge watching this channel for the last few days, and I love it. It is an amazing channel. It's all about like therapy and psychotherapy, and there's different videos on different, themes in life. And it's dope. So check it out. Check out the School of Life. I'm going to have the link to the video I'm about to talk about in the show notes so you can check it out. But the video was called Why We Choose Difficult Partners. It explains that many of our preferences and types come from our childhoods. Our upbringings and experiences often predispose us to only fall for certain types of people. We look for people to recreate feelings of love that we felt while we were young. But the issue ultimately lies in what we define as love. For many, this love was actually in the form of an angry or distant parent, or someone who was possibly emotionally abusive. Because this love was intertwined with certain painful aspects, we search for these things in our potential partners. The video goes on to explain that often we are seeking someone who will ultimately be we aren't seeking someone who will ultimately be kind to us or make us happy, but we're seeking someone who feels familiar. We tend to reject specific candidates for partnership because that person doesn't satisfy a yearning for the complexities that we associate with love. We often say people are boring, too good, arrogant, Not sexy enough, not hard enough, too quiet, etc. But in reality, what we're really trying to say is they're unlikely to make us suffer in the way we need to suffer in order to feel that love is real. When I tell you that video laid me the fuck out, like, I had the most significant aha moment ever because this is so true. It's so true. I've seen it in friends. I've seen it in myself. I've dated so many nice guys, but I was bored because their kindness, it felt unearned. It felt like it wasn't a challenge. Like, they were super dope. They wanted to take me out. They wanted to treat me. They wanted to hang out all the time. They had great communication, all this stuff. And somehow I just wasn't turned on by it. Like, it didn't make my blood jump at all. I was just like, it's boring. I don't know. And I never understood it. Like, I felt like an asshole. I'm like, why don't I like this? I should like this. I should like you. Like, you're treating me well. Like, you're kind. Why is this not enough for me? But this trope explained why I've always been drawn to fuckboys, because of the challenge that they provided. It's almost as if I wanted to be stressed out by these niggas. I guess that made dating more exciting. But now I'm in a place where I'm like, nah, I don't want that shit. Like, I don't want to be stressed out. I guess it just takes maturing. But in the video, and I really recommend you guys watch it. Watch this video and then watch another one called Choosing the Right Partner, because it kind of expands on it more. And then there's another video that was viral called Why You'll Marry the Wrong Person. It's the same channel, but it's just really, really, really good. But it talks about, it's not about us trying to change our types, but it's about us being aware of where our types and preferences come from and learning how to deal with that. Because ultimately you're still going to be drawn to these types of people because you find them more interesting. And that's ultimately what it is. We all want exciting. We want interesting. We want something that is going to challenge us. And we want something that feels familiar. But even with that, I'm still in a place where I'm like, yeah, but I think I need to just go for the nice guy. I need to go for the caring guy, because I think I've been hurt enough by the opposite to be like, okay, that shit's not working. So why not go with the person who's going to have a little less obstacles ahead? You know what I mean? Like, why not go for the person who does nice things for you and cares for you and communicates well? And like, why not? And it's interesting because I feel like a lot of older adults do that. I mean, think about your family and your friends and the older people in your life. I know in my family, I've seen, like, you know, aunts and uncles be with one person and that person was volatile. You know, they probably had their kids by this person or whatever. They break up. And it was a terrible breakup. But then they meet someone who was the complete opposite of that person. And they end up being with that person forever. Like until the end of time. And that person was like super, super nice, super caring, complete opposite. So I feel like it's just something we all go through. I remember, like, I back in the day with, like, girls and stuff. I remember girls were always into thugs. Nah, I don't want no good boy. I don't want no L7, no square. Like, nah, you gotta be hard. You gotta wear Timbs. You gotta do this. And it's the same way with gay men in trade. You know, it's just, oh, you gotta be this. Until you get hurt by this person. And you're like, oh yeah, this is, because you gotta realize what comes with that comes a different type of pain. And you're like, oh yeah, no, I don't want this at all. And you grow out of it. But the problem is some people don't grow out of it. And I know especially like gay men, a lot of us are kind of stuck in arrested development. And that's a whole nother episode to discuss. But a lot of us are stuck. And so we're still in that teenage mindset of, oh, you gotta be a thug, you gotta be hard, you know, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, because we find that as the equivalent of masculinity or whatever it is that we desire. You know, that's the man on the flyer that's never at the club, you know. When in reality, we just need someone who will understand us and care for us and treat us like we deserve to be treated and do right by us, and someone that will reciprocate what we give them. So maybe it's time to give the nice person or the boring person or the uninteresting person or the less challenging person a chance. Maybe you deserve a person that's not going to provide too much challenge. And it's something to really think about. And I just think it's just, I don't know, like I was really touched by that video and that information. It really kind of made me think. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's time to mature. And I'm not saying it's a sign of immaturity. I don't want to generalize, but for me, it's time to just grow up and go for the nice guy. Go for the kind dude. Go for the one who knows how to communicate, the one who has common sense, and the one who ain't on that bullshit, you know? So yeah, so think about that. Let me know your thoughts. Please tweet me, The World of Kevin, or the Outline Podcast. Post your favorite quotes on Instagram using the hashtag The Outline Podcast. You can do that on Twitter too. Share this episode with your friends, especially it's the 100th episode, you guys. Share this, comment, and continue doing what you do. Like, I love you all. Like, you guys are just amazing. Like, I thank you for every tag, post, tweet, retweet, DM, comment, and share. Like, you guys are the reason I show up here every week with new content. So thank you. And it's funny because this is not the only celebration. Next week's show is actually the 2-year anniversary, like the official 2-year. I started this show on July 16th of 2016. So since next week, I believe that's next Monday or Tuesday is the 16th. So next week's show will be the 2-year anniversary. It won't be a huge a whole thing about it, but I'm still going to make knowledge to it. But this is the 100th episode, but next week is the 2-year anniversary of the Outline Podcast. So I will talk to you all next week. Peace out.